All right, this is Rock with Big Star 97, and I've got a great one for you guys today. I've got on the air Dallas Moore. What's up, Dallas?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing
Top
good,
of the
man.
morning, mi amigo.
Absolutely, bro. Man, it's a pleasure to finally get an outlaw legend like yourself, man, on the air, dude.
Oh man,
Dude,
thank you.
you're great, man. We've been listening to your music for years. Over 25 years you've been playing, dude, and jamming. You've got over 17 albums out, man. To say you're an outlaw country animal would be an understatement, dude. How do you maintain and keep it up throughout the years, brother?
Man, well, I got to roll the wheels to pay the bills. But what the truth of it is, after all these years, it's still fun. you know, um,
Man, yeah.
I play. I think this year, 2024 is going to be, I believe, the 12th or 13th year in a row. With the exception of 2020, of course, that I performed over 300 nights a year. All across America, and we just recently moved to San Antonio, Texas, and that's where I'm talking to you at
Okay.
here this morning. And but we've it's still fun. I get up every day and go travel to wherever we're going to, whatever festival or honky tonk or whatever venue we're playing, and or if we're making a new record or whatever. And at the end of the day, we're still having a ball. I'm 53 years old, and I feel like I'm just getting started.
You never work a day in your life if you enjoy it, from what I hear, man. So,
That's right, man.
so for you
That's
to be
true.
still be kicking it, that's amazing, dude. And everybody
That,
that's listening is very happy that you are, brother. I'll tell you that much, man.
I think we're all still chasing Willie Nelson.
Hey, probably so, dude. I think a lot of people are in that path, man. So, speaking of San Antonio, man, we just took the family down there. We visited the Alamo, and one of our distant relatives was actual Colonel Travis. So I was teaching the boys a little bit about their family and letting them see
Wow,
the
that's
Alamo and
awesome.
everything else, man. So we had a great time. But let's get back to you, man. The latest album that you got, man, No God in Juarez.
Yeah, that was my 17th album, and it was actually a labor of love for me. And it was over 20 years in the making, that record, as it featured all songs. It was written by my original honky tonk hero, champion and friend, the great Billy Gant. And I met Billy when I was 17 years old. And he kind of took me under his wing, and he was really at the height of his career at the time. He was just such a charismatic showman. It was kind of like watching James Brown, perform outlaw country music, in the late '80s, when I was a kid. And At the height of his career, he was touring with Hank Jr. and David Allan
Oh
Coe and
yeah.
Johnny Paycheck and Ernest Tubb and the Oak Ridge Boys. And right when everything was just going so great for Billy, he was involved in a very traumatic automobile accident, and he suffered a traumatic brain injury, and he was in a coma for a long time, and he had, I believe it was 13 years he had to be totally away from all music and
Wow.
and everything, and pretty much everybody figured he was not going to survive. Well, he did. He woke up from that coma one day and spent 13 years in rehab and everything, and he had to learn to walk and talk and everything again. But something happened to him in that time, and he became this prolific songwriter. And I had co-written a few songs with Billy, back in the early 2000s, and right around, I think it was around 2001, 2002, I started telling him, Billy, one of these days I'm going to make a whole record of just featuring your songs. And finally, in the last year, in June of 2023, our schedules and the stars aligned, and we was able to release the No God Juarez album, and it features all the songs on it were written by Billy, and it's just been it's been so great. To get that album out and be able to, I love to sing those songs every night, but I'm so glad that Billy's still here. He's 76 years old,
That's
and
amazing.
he's able to experience his songs getting out into the world, and not dying in a notebook whenever the time comes that he passed away. His music is and his story is out there, and I always say, like, his life story should be a movie, but also the characters that he creates in his songwriting, and that is featured on No God Juarez. everything on it, it's so cinematic. I mean, it's almost like it's not, it wasn't written or performed to be a movie soundtrack, but it definitely could be. You think it's like you're watching like a Quentin Tarantino movie or something like
Yeah,
that,
definitely.
but all that stuff featured Billy, and so I was really excited to get that, and we performed the entire album, on every show that I play, whether it's acoustic or full band or whatever. And so that was my 17th album, and I just now finished recording my 18th album, and it's going to be called Gems and Jams, and we're going to be releasing it in June of this year. And this is the first record that I've ever done that's just me and my guitar, totally acoustic and stripped down. And there's 15 songs that I wrote on it, and we literally just set up a couple mics and went and got the best take we could of everything. And I've had a lot of folks wanting this album for a long time, and I never got around to doing it, and I finally just did. So so that's coming too. So, and I've got a couple songs that I wrote, one in particular called "Sing My Song" that I'll be doing, that I'll be performing at Outlaws and Legends. I'll be kind of debuting that song up there.
Yeah. That's pretty kick ass, man. Looking forward to hearing some new jams from you, man. From the Jams album coming up. Is that did you say it was going to be released in April?
June.
June. Okay.
June. Yeah. We're looking to get it out in June. We'll probably release the first single in April, and we'll start the pre-order for the vinyl and everything. But we're looking to hoping to get the album released in June.
Nice. I'm sure it'll be a success, man. If it's half as good as what No God in Juarez was, man. And it's a hit, dude. I mean, what do you got? 4 weeks at #1, several of those. I mean, you made the Saving Country Music Essential list this past year.
Yeah.
This album alone, man. So that's a huge achievement, dude. And one of my favorites, dude, is a House of Cards. I thought that one was really good, man. Just kind of set the pace, I thought, for a lot of it. And I really liked it.
Definitely. All of those songs, when we finally went from talking about, hey, Billy, we're going to record a bunch of your songs for a record, and we finally went from talking about it to actually doing it, we gathered around Billy's kitchen table. And he pitched me 33 songs, and out of those 33, the 10 that became No God Juarez, House of Cards was one of the first ones, besides the title track, that I just instantly just gravitated to, and just hearing Billy sing it and perform it, it just really hit home. And I thought that would be a good song for me to do, and was very, very happy to get that on the No God Juarez album. And again, that's one we play on every show, and we will be playing it at Outlaws and Legends as well.
Nice, man. It gave me an almost George Jones feel.
Yeah.
While listening to it, and which, growing up, that was one of my father's his favorite, and driving down the road in the pickup, we listened to a lot of George Jones, and when I heard that one, I think that's one of the main reasons why it kicked off so well to me. It brought back that memory, and I was, this is really good, man. It has that flair, so I really
just playing possum.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, man, Dallas, past 25 plus years you've been touring and playing music, man. I know you've played with some interesting names, dude. I know you mentioned Willie earlier, and with Billy Gant, and you've toured, played, with some of the greats as well, man. So what's some of the best memories you have from that, man? Because I see, as I was looking it up, some Willies, some Waylons, Merle, some Skinner. We just spoke about George. You've toured or played George, little David Allen Coe, and one of my favorites, who's still thankfully with us, man, is Mr. Dale Watson. So so and the list goes on, dude. So tell me what it was like playing with some of these guys, man, because some of them are characters, man.
Well, it's one of the. I've been very blessed with all that, and it's really cool, and special thing when your heroes become your friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I've been very, very lucky with that. Over all the years. Back in the '90s when my first album came out in 1996, My Heroes Always Been Cowboys, and it was dedicated to Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and David Onco, and I was opening shows for all of them, quite a bit at that time, and I ended up Jody Payne, who was Willie Nelson's lead guitar player for 37 years, and but he was my godfather. And so I got to do a lot of stuff with Willie, back then. And the last album that Jody Payne actually played on was my live Hank to Thank album. It was recorded at Herzog Studios on the 61st anniversary when Hank Williams came to Cincinnati, Ohio, and recorded in Herzog Studio there. And Jody had come up; he had already retired from Willie, and his health was in decline. But he made the trip up from his home in Alabama, and that was the last recording that he made with us. So that was really cool. Got to do some shows with Waylon Jennings, which was awesome. And I got one show with George Jones at the Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio. So it was really cool. I toured with David Allen Coe from the time I was 17 up until the last show that we played together in 2020.
So you got to be a part of the real David Allen Coe that don't get talked about much today.
Right? Yeah, I was there for a lot, and you never saw the same thing twice. But all of that. Dale Watson has been such a great friend and help to us. And my drummer Mike Bernal played drums for Dale Watson for 13 years. I believe.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and he also. But he'll be there with us, returning to Outlaws and Legends. This is our second time playing Outlaws and Legends, so looking forward to it.
Nice, man. Speaking of that, dude, it's such a great event, dude. We've got Big Star 97 has been a radio sponsor for Outlaws and Legends for, man, I want to say 8 of the 10 or 12 years it's been going on.
Yeah.
Every year, man, it just seems like Mark Powell puts on something more spectacular than the year before, and it's like, how did you do this, dude? Like, the acts he has, the some of the greats have played there, and
oh yeah,
and, every time we go, we're hit with something new, man. Like out of nowhere, a couple of years ago, he had Kevin Costner, it's like,
yeah.
At the time, I was like, what? Kevin Costner, but
right.
And it worked out, it's like Willie's been out there, and Chris Christopherson the past couple of years, and and now the lineup he's got this year is just just off the charts. So you get to come back out and be a part of that, man. And it's a great event. It's for a great purpose, man. He puts this event on, and
Mark Powell. Oh yes, for sure. Mark Powell and his wife Meredith have become just great friends of mine. And I met Mark several years ago. He was touring with Dean Dillon, and we were playing. We ended up playing a songwriters festival down in Perdido Key, Florida, and that's how we met. And then fast forward to 2022, and he got in touch with us, and he had me out to play Outlaws and Legends for the first time in 2022. And then last year, I was doing a songwriters festival at Mark and Meredith Powell. They have the Seven Keys Lodge up in Estes Park, Colorado, and I did a songwriting event with him and David Lee up there last year, and he booked me for. We played 2 sold out nights, and right in the middle of the Friday night sold out show. He booked me to be on Outlaws and Legends for this year, right there in front of the whole audience. Nice. So he was like, "I'm gonna take an opinion poll. How many of y'all want Dallas Moore on Outlaws and Legends 2024?" And the place whole stood up, and so here I come.
Well, hell yeah, man! I gotta agree with everybody else that was there at that event. So we're happy to have you, man. We're happy to promote the event. We're happy to promote you being at the event. And man, you got, I know, other than the latest one that you got pushing, Jim and Jams, that's going to be coming out. You've got the No God Juarez, which is your latest, which has been kicking ass everywhere.
Yeah.
And we all know Jim and Jams is going to be just as good, if not better. What else you got coming up, man, for the future? Anywhere the listeners can see you play other than Outlaws and Legends, or?
Yeah, we're like I said, as I always say, we're always on tour. I'll be this week another year. I'm playing over 300 nights this year all across America. Where all of my tour dates are at dallasmoore.com, and I run all of my own social media, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter or X, whatever it's called this week.
Yes, sir. I'll find you there.
but I'm on all that, and I'm always promoting every show that we're doing. I know next Tuesday we're playing Green Hall in New Braunfels, Texas, and then we got a couple other really big festivals coming up. One in Bandera and one in Kerrville. But one in Bandera we're playing with Lolita Ford and with my buddy Creed Fisher. And yeah, and I think the Bellamy brothers are on that, and they're having all these festivals for the Eclipse that's coming through next week. So looking forward to that, and then we're just going to be taking it from Texas to Tennessee to New York to LA and South Dakota to Florida and all points in between all year long. So catch me if you can.
Yeah, no doubt, man. The life on the road with Dallas Moore, man. Well, hey, you heard it from the man. DallasMoore.com. Catch up, social media, everything else. We're going to find the guy, follow him, find out where he's playing next. And man, it was a pleasure having you call in and be a part of Big Star 97 with us. And
thank you, Rob.
Really looking forward to catching you play, man, this weekend.
All right, buddy. We'll see you up there.
All right. Thank you, sir.